behind the scenes and behind the galaxies of this universe of ours. And we have important development, and it's a late contribution coming from very far. And I guess we have the gentleman, I forgot the name. It's Dr. Carl Spock from NX5G, and to introduce this technology coming from very far.
Johnny. How's it going, Lorenzo?
It's good.
Good.
Good morning. Good morning, and I'm very pleased to be here. My name is Mr. Carl Spock. Unfortunately, I'm not a doctor, even though Mr. Chairman was referring to me as that. And the company I'm representing is 5GNX.com. So what we'll talk about today is NX, which is the new waveform for 5G hyper technology. And I have understood it's customary for people to start a presentation with a joke, and I did an extensive scan of the 3GPP contributions. It was difficult to find any references to humor, but I found one. And now I see there are not very many Germans in the audience because no one is laughing, but that I think is fine. Then I also noted that there was one earlier presentation that actually had some interesting proposal for how to rename the 3GPP. And from 5GNX.com, we would actually strongly support this proposal to rename 3GPP. And of course, instead of XGPP, we would propose to name that NX 3GPP. I expect that this is also agreeable to everyone else. So, what is 5GNX.com? It is a for-profit collaborative organization that is made to promote the NX technology. And we have a number of different persons working for us. We have the 5G General, who is in charge of leading the 5G activities. We have the scientific advisor, that is me, Mr. Spock. And then we have experienced standardization delegate that has already been referred to in one of the presentations during this week. And then we have a number of contributions from several technical experts and researchers. And in case you are interested in joining us, I think you are most welcome. We are always hiring, then the salary will not be extremely high, but let's see. We are still for-profit organization, so maybe something will come. This is the 5GNX webpage, and as you can already see, we actually have published the first 5G specifications. It's the 56211. You can go down to the webpage, 5GNX.com, and download it. We have a number of different revisions. They all contain the specifications of the phase 0 of 5GNX. I'm sure now everyone will go and download it. So I will not actually present the specification. I will more talk about the technology that we are promoting. So what we have is a phased approach into NX deployment. So far we have deployed phase 0 that contains a number of different features. It contains hyperlink carrier, it contains high forward compatibility, and also without software-defined hyper-networking. And then at later phases, we will enhance this NX technology with full and enhanced 5G functionality. And we envision that there will be many of these phases. The phase 0, it actually is already available. So we actually have full commercial availability for solutions for network deployment and for end-user terminals. And most likely you are already using this technology, even though you may not be aware of it. So the two features that we have is hyperlink carrier, and this is sort of extremely energy efficient solution for both networks and terminals. And with this link carrier, what you can do is you can get up to 100% energy cost reduction in network. So basically, you are not using any energy to transmit the phase 0 of the 5G NX.com technology. And also you can support up to infinite terminal battery life if you are only using the phase 0 of NX. There's also a significant reduction of interference. So basically, we can eliminate up to 100% of the interference by having hyperlink carrier. In case you are wondering, the hyperlink carrier is defined in the specification, so I would really advise you to go and find it. We also support the hyperforward compatibility. Basically, the hyperforward compatibility employs any deployment of future technology without really having any impact on existing NX deployments. We basically allow the operators and end users to retain the existing equipment, NX phase 0 equipment, when they are deploying major functionalities as 6G. The final technology piece that we have is without software-defined hybrid network, and the problem with the legacy technology is that it actually needs to be evolved. With this, without software networking, it's a very efficient way of avoiding the need to evolve the software, since you don't have it. It has a number of advantages. It has high quick time to market. Basically, it is very easy to develop. The code size is extremely small, down to 0 bytes, and the code complexity is very limited. It's also good for hyper low-cost devices. And at one point of time, we also discovered that by deploying without software, we also minimize the number of software bugs that we introduce. So I will end the presentation with a short recap of our trials. So we have made small-scale universal trials using our Wolf 5 technology, allowing us to travel to different places on the universe. And we have tested on where do we have this phase 0 technology already available. So starting with the local trials and walking here. So this is the local area of this hotel. And after extensive tests, we have discovered that there is phase 0 deployed basically everywhere in the vicinity of this building. So we are well covered here. We have also taken a little bit more global view, and to my great pleasure, I can say that we are also fully covered in the globe. So we have full global coverage. And since we have access to Starfleet, we have also been looking at a little bit wider. And actually, we also have universal coverage. So as you can see, we have universal coverage, and in case you're wondering, yes, we also have coverage in the place where we are located currently. Thank you, and please enjoy.
So, any question? Yes, Said?
Just a question for clarification. Does Twitter work in your universe? We can put this on Twitter.
If you go into 5gnx.com, you can of course see that we are already measuring Twitter, so it's okay.
Other questions?
And also, if you're wondering, the presentation is available on 5gnx.com in case you want to go back and enjoy the show again.
Per?
I just want to wonder, I think I've seen this before. Could you point to the delta between this and the normal market information we get from Ericsson?
So, can you repeat the question because we cannot hear it from the podium?
I wonder what is the delta between this and the normal market material we get from Ericsson?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that the 5gnx.com is a new company, so we don't have extensive resources like many of our competing companies, like the network vendor you mentioned. So unfortunately, we don't have any marketing material, but we can of course discuss. As said, we are for-profit organization, so we are very willing to engage in commercial terms with 20 years on there as well.
Other questions? If not, I would like to thank Dr. Spock for the presentation, and the website is available, and it's a collaborative project if you have ideas on how to evolve this amazing technology. So you can send a CR request, Dr. Spock will take that into account. Mr. Spock. Okay, thank you.